Craig?
What's going on?
What's going on? We're back.
Three
in a row. 3 in a row.
That's awesome. So 3 years of switching gear now. Well, 3 seasons, right?
3 seasons, we'll call it.
Third episode.
Third episode of season 3.
And we have this beast of an amp over here.
Hold on.
Sorry.
Let's start off right here.
Almost forget.
You know, I think in the last episode there wasn't coffee.
I think you're wrong.
Really?
I think there was coffee.
Oh, okay.
We'll find out. We'll have to watch back. So, people, while we're drinking, this is the opportunity. Like, subscribe, notification icon. Be much appreciated. We'd like to see you back. It's good coffee. What do you got this time?
It is. That's why I'm smiling.
Yeah.
It's the kicking horse. It's the
Yeah.
same one we had back in the day.
Yeah.
It's
Why
still
change
good.
a good thing?
Exactly. I go between that one and I use Death Wish coffee a lot.
Yeah.
They're really good.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so what do we got here today?
We got a Saldano. It's 50 watt, right?
This is the Soldano Hot Rod 50.
Yeah.
So
It's like bare bones. It's as basic as they come, right?
pretty much.
Look at that. We got 6 knobs. Love it.
Yeah. So this particular amp model is sort of early to mid 90s. I don't think they produce it anymore. It's a pretty standard amp. It's basically a 50 watt EL34, British flavored amp.
Yep.
There are 4 12AX7 EC, what is it? EC83 preamp type tubes
Yep.
for
I could
your
see 'em
gain
glowing in there.
stage.
Yeah.
Yep, it's got an effects loop, and other than that, that's about it.
Single channel.
Basically single channel. You have 2 inputs. You have
Yep.
a high and a low input.
Yep.
I don't know whoever uses a low input ever.
Why do they put them there?
I don't know.
This-
I don't, doesn't make
Comment
any sense.
if anyone knows why there's the low.
And
Because
if you use
if
a
you
low
use
input,
it, let us know why.
Exactly, because I'd like to try it out.
Yeah.
You know, I've only been playing guitar almost 40 years. I've never plugged into the low input of an amp.
Just like I've never moved the tone knob on a guitar.
Exactly.
There's a lot of people that I know. I'm kidding.
So Soldano's, the amp company itself, I believe, started in the mid 80s.
Yep.
And then they got popular towards the late 80s, early 90s. And I think a spike in their popularity came by the way of Mr. Van Halen.
Yes.
That's when I first heard of them, probably around 1991-ish.
Everybody wanted one.
Everybody wanted
Back
one,
then.
probably because Eddie used it on
Yeah.
something.
Yep.
I don't know what he used it on, but
It was one of the modern era, right? We call modern era Eddie, right? That's after
the
Dave.
Sammy era.
After David
It
Lee
was-
Roth is more
right.
the modern era of Van Halen. So yeah, some of those tones
Could be.
could be
I don't know for sure.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
what
yeah.
what exactly he used or didn't use.
sure.
But if you take a look on their website, their artist roster is like enormous.
Yeah.
And it's like everybody.
Yeah.
You know, they have George Harrison up there. I mean,
Yeah,
they have like
yeah.
everybody up there.
Yep.
But yeah, it's basically a straight up, like I said, a British flavored amp, and I say British flavored because it has the 2 EL34 tubes.
Yep.
So now what you heard in the intro was me pushing the front of this with a classic Boss Super Overdrive. Boss. A Boss Super Overdrive SD1. Not the new Waza version, the classic version. And with the level pegged and the gain at around, what is it on, like 9 o'clock?
Yep.
And that's a classic way to run an overdrive also when you want to push the front of an amp.
Sure.
You're not really using the overdrive for the gain. You're using it just for heat.
Yeah.
Right?
To push the front.
Just
Yep.
to push the front for volume.
Sure.
So what we'll do is why don't you play it with the overdrive first, and then we'll take the overdrive off and let's see what the amp can do on its own. See, you know what's interesting about this amp too, and we do have an overdrive here, and we're going to hear the gain. The preamp gain is only on 5.
Yep.
Now,
Yeah.
in that era, it wasn't until the first amp I remember playing that did not need an overdrive pedal. Do you remember what that was? I know
The
exactly
5150.
exactly what it was.
Yeah, I remember
when
you
the
telling me.
PV 5150 came out.
Yep.
That was the very first amp I ever plugged into that did not require some kind of overdrive distortion in front of it. It had more gain than you could use.
Yeah,
basically.
I mean, you could have that gain on 5.
Exactly.
And it was more than you needed.
And it was more than you needed.
I don't know, and that's a situation where I don't understand why you would go past 5.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
We're talking about the low. Why would you use the low and
Exactly.
not the high? Well, with the 5150, I always found that once you went, and I know this isn't an episode about the 5150. I don't want to go over the tangent. But when I got past 5 or 6,
It just slopped.
It just slopped out.
Yeah.
You didn't get that
It's just too much
definition in the
saturation.
notes. Yeah, exactly.
You lost the clarity of the punch.
Absolutely.
So I'm curious to see what this amp could actually do from that perspective when we turn off the overdrive pedal. But the interesting thing, and this is more, I guess, of a history lesson, if anything else, back until that 5150 came out in the early 90s, amps needed more gain. And even back then, I remember thinking to myself, why? I mean, if you could buy a distortion pedal and you're putting it in front of the amp, why doesn't the amp have that in it already?
Yeah.
You
You don't have to worry about the battery running dead on your pedal. It's
Right.
already in there.
And what's interesting about that is it took a while for amps to get to that point.
Yep.
I'm not really sure why. The technology, I'm sure, existed.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was
Probably
just
the pedal
user demand.
manufacturers didn't want them to incorporate it.
Which is user demand.
Yeah.
Maybe the demand wasn't there.
Sure.
Or people will find, hey, I got an overdrive in front, I'm good. But anyway, I digress. Let's turn off the overdrive.
Okay.
And now all of the the EQ knobs, everything's on 5, right, including our master. Just real quick, we're feeding this into the Mesa Boogie Cab Clone IR Plus. This is an attenuator and cabinet simulator. We're not attenuating the amp at all. We're just using basically a 412 recto cabinet,
which is fantastic. It sounds great, and it's great for this environment.
Perfect,
right? Perfect.
This is a great piece of gear.
Really
by the way.
good piece of gear.
We'll do an episode just on this.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's all we're doing. We're just taking the out of this, going right into the DAW as our cabinet. So our master here is actually on 5, okay, to feed this. So we are getting a little juice out of the amp. All right. Everything's straight up. So why don't you start messing with your preamp knob? Let's see what we got here. You might want to shut off the noise gate as well. Let's see what it's got now. This is on 8. So I actually just noticed something for the first time. All of the knobs on this amp do what?
Go to 11. Oh my God!
They actually go to 11. For those that don't know, Spinal Tap, the movie, go watch it.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So that's what the gain dimed. How does that feel to you with the gain dime? Do you still?
It was
feel
a
like
little
you need
much.
more?
Like I felt it feels. You know what? It felt a little wobbly. For lack, I don't know if that's a term that anyone would understand.
Woofy, woolly.
Wobbly, woolly. Just the notes sounded too round to me, not enough definition. But gain's there.
So now let's try to get rid of some of that woof, and let's add a little bit of mid, a little bit of high, maybe a little bit of presence.
Yep. Yep, a little more.
It's very, I mean, for a straight in amp.
Yeah, straight in, no overdrive. I mean,
now that's with the gain on 10.
Yep. Let's roll it back maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Or no, it's on 11.
Oh, it's on 11. So maybe throw it to like 9 or 8 or something.
Let's go 8.5. I like its own. I like it a lot. It actually
It's good,
sounds
right?
great. Yeah, absolutely.
So now
how does it feel solo-y?
It feels good. It
on-
feels good.
on-
It's not uncontrollable amounts of gain. So when you use it, when you hit in the front with an overdrive, you can have that almost uncontrollable kind of thing.
Yeah.
So straight in, you don't get that.
Yeah.
Give it a try.
Feels comfortable
Now hit that with the OD.
with the.
Yeah, you might want to put the noise gate on. Once you hit that.
I think it sounds great.
It's a good amp.
Check it out. Try it. See how you feel. Cool, right?
It's really good.
Dig it.
It's really good.
What's cool is versatile. I mean, I was perfectly comfortable playing on it without the overdrive, and I think turning on that overdrive just kind of sent the whole thing over the top.
No doubt.
And it actually, the clarity of the notes was still there, the definition, everything we like to hear, but there was a little bit more of a comfort level in playing. I didn't feel like I was fighting with the amp quite
Sure.
as much. So either way, it's great.
Now, what about the range of the EQ if I shut the OD off? Just mess the EQ a bit. Bass gets a little woofy.
Scoop?
And this is straight in. This is no overdrive.
Yep, that's just the amp. It's quite the versatile amp. It's a great recording amp. I don't know that it's versatile enough to play live. I mean, it's versatile
It's a
within
single channel.
within the single channel. There's a lot of range of sound.
Right.
Live situation,
Right,
I'm definitely
right.
a two to three channel type of guy.
Well, 'cause you want a clean
Yeah,
channel.
exactly.
Yeah, but in
So,
a recording
yeah.
studio or a straight up, sort of hard rock metal kind of thing, this is a good amp.
Yep.
It looks like, from what I saw, just checking out their website, I don't think they make this model anymore. It looks like they have a 30 watt and they have a 100 watt
Yep.
SLO.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Hot Rod 50, so it's cool. It's really cool. I like it.
Yeah. If you can find one, grab one.
Yeah,
Right.
I think so.
Two thumbs up.
I think so, yeah.
I dig it.
This is a good amp.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome. All right.
Like, subscribe, come back.
And we'll see you next
We have a
time.
whole lot more coming
Episode 3 in the books.
in the books. Let's do 4.
All right. Season 3. See you later.